Hey guys, wanted to come at you with another review. Just picked up a new knife. It's the Gerber E.A.B mini utility knife. Just picked this up from Shields. It was $11.99, so not terrible. And it's actually pretty reasonable for a lot of the Gerber stuff, which gets up there in price pretty quick as compared to some of the lesser expensive brands that are certainly out there in the utility knife space. So yeah, it was $11.99. I thought it'd be fun to pick this one up, and it also seemed, cool that it's actually branded as a utility knife and not a camping knife or anything like that. And it seemed like it was, slim, lightweight, things like that. So let's go ahead and get it out of the package and see what we think. So out of the package, taking one look at this quick, you've got the exchangeable utility blade, keychain, slide lock, lightweight. In addition, on the back, it says standard size utility blade, stainless steel body, keychain loop, and lock and unlock button. So we'll set the packaging aside and get a feel for our knife. So very slim. That should be obvious based on the packaging and what it looks like, but it's definitely a slim housing for the utility knife, which is pretty cool. It's got kind of one little button protruding off the side, which I think it does kind of come off a fair amount, which love it or hate it, that's kind of what you get. I'm not the biggest fan of that, just given it'd be nice to see something even slimmer and more in line, but definitely not the end of the world if you're throwing this in the pocket. I doubt that's going to catch on too much. And then you've got your keychain loop up top, so you can throw it on your keychain, and does feel like a pretty reinforced clip there up top, so that's probably not gonna pull away on you very easily, which is really the risk. Is you throw it on the keychain, and then this clip over time just pulls apart, and then that's that. It's pointless. But it seems like it's pretty reinforced to that degree, and then you've got kind of the Gerber branding, and actually some pretty cool artwork on the side, or design. And they had silver or black. I went with black. Then I thought maybe I should go with silver because it will pop out a little bit more if I drop it. But black is cool, and kind of incognito as well. So overall, it feels good in the hand. Like I said, very compact, lightweight. Exterior wise, the only thing I'm not loving is that button, which sticks out quite a bit. So when you push down this button and kind of move your thumb up this way, you can move the knife up, or the blade up for that matter, and get to that next position. Then you can kind of lock that button down into what you can see is kind of that second notch. So again, you start in that first notch, you move the slider all the way up, and you can get in that second notch. The one thing I'm noticing is you could actually go to that second notch, and that, if you can see, that button doesn't quite pull in. You actually have to kind of manually pull it in and slide it down. So it's, a little bit confusing from that perspective. And this is a little bit oily as well, so definitely some oily blades from Gerber. We're not going to hold that against them, but you can see once you get it down in that second notch, it's all good. So then you can slide it out to full extension, and then you can take the blade housing all the way off at that point. So we can set down the blade, or the housing itself, and then what you do to get the blade out is push this little tab over, if you can see that. Push this center tab over, which is the indentation in the blade right there. And then you can just remove this blade out. You can throw in your new blade, you can reverse it, and then you're also just going to reverse the process then when you want to get the new blade back in. So it's not going to slide in super easy until you move this tab up. It's going to allow you to get the blade in. Now you're locked, and then it's just a matter of reversing the blade back into the housing or the knife itself, and then finding that desired location of your notch, and then kind of pulling that notch or pulling the button down. So definitely a greasier knife, all things considered. That's not bad out of the packaging. You know, it's going to apply some lubrication to the knife and just kind of allow it to move freely to start. But it's definitely a little bit of a, you know, unique situation with Gerber. I haven't seen one generally that oiled. I'm just wiping it down here. But yeah, I would say, you know, once you get that blade locked into that second notch, you know, overall it feels good in the hand. You know, you've got enough surface area to grab onto. You're going to get that little rattle with the keychain, but no rattle with, or not much rattle with the blade. You can move it up and back a little bit in that second notch. But the one thing I do like is you can really lock it down in that first notch, which is the retracted position, and make sure that that's not going to go anywhere. And, you know, whether they should have added a middle notch, it's kind of, you know, is what it is. You do have some grip up top, which I actually like, because that really allows you to hold this tightly. You know, I could see this coming in handy quite a bit for, you know, camping, for outdoor enthusiasts that want to have a quick knife on them, and something where they can throw extra blades in, you know, their backpack or something like that, and then kind of load up this knife whenever needed, which is really the big advantage of the utility knives with the standard blades, is you can have all your blades on you, but you can also have a compact knife. So this checks a lot of boxes from that perspective. You know, is it going to be the simplest knife to take out and cut cardboard around the house, anything like that? No, this is not going to be a good option. I would, you know, definitely recommend more of a, you know, larger knife that you can grip in your hand with, you know, a slider where you can get that blade in and out quickly and efficiently. This is, you know, it's a little bit more of a, you know, tricky mechanism to get the blade out. But is there anything wrong with it? No, it's totally acceptable. And this is going to be something that I have on me where I don't necessarily need to have a blade that comes out super quickly or anything like that, but just have a utility knife on me. It's safe, it's not going to cut me, anything like that. You could throw it on the keychain. Personally, I'd probably just toss this in the pocket if I was going on a hike, something like that, and thought I might need a knife, you know, during that time. So I would say for just under $12 at $11.99, it's a good buy. You know, is it living up to some of the other Gerber knives that I've used? You know, I would say it's slightly below that, but also the price is lower. You know, but I've noticed on all the Gerber knives that some of the slider mechanisms are not, you know, what you would expect from this type of knife. It's just a little bit different mechanism. They've got kind of a different thing going with their utility knives and kind of their knives in general. I would say it utilizes the thumb, and, you know, having to use a little bit more effort to get the blade out, which is something, you know, Gerber could certainly work on, but I'm not going to hold it against him. So I would say overall, good buy. Good camping utility knife. Throw it in your pocket. You're not going to be disappointed for just under 12 bucks. And yeah, it's got that grip actually on the top and bottom side. If you can see that towards the front of the knife. So yeah, I would say this is hitting a lot of marks. Is it perfect? No, but go ahead and pick it up if it seems like something you're interested in. So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining, watching the video, and we will talk to you on the next one.